I've got a great idea. Come on, let's get started.
Look around, find your inspiration. Take that step, use your imagination. You don't need to go direct, the road may not lead where you expect. Cause it's the trip, it's not the destination. Make magic, take the stage. Roll the camera, turn the page. Take a chance and do the dance. Our story starts with a beat in the heart. Find your own voice, it's what sets you apart. Our story starts with a beat in the heart.
Hi, I'm Tomie DePaola. Want to tell some stories? Come on in. Shh. You're just in time for a safari. Be very quiet. I don't want to wake up the invisible rhinoceros.
Oh, hiya, Tommy.
Quiet, Gabe.
Oh, sorry. Why are we whispering?
I don't want to wake up the rhinoceros.
Oh, right. The rhinoceros? Wait a second. I don't see any rhinoceros.
That's because it's a make-believe invisible rhino.
Oh, I get it. We're playing make-believe.
Yeah, playing make-believe is a great way to come up with stories.
Can we stop whispering now?
Yep, might as well. The rhino woke up.
This is fun.
I've always enjoyed make-believe. I think it's one of the reasons I became an artist and a writer.
Tommy, I gotta go. I saw a pretend elephant eat my real bag of peanuts. Come back here.
That squirrel has some imagination. Whoa, it's even better than I thought. Pretending can make everyday experiences exciting. Like when you pretend your bed is a spaceship or that old rug is a magic carpet.
Or a garden is filled with buried treasure.
Oh, hello, Streganona. You like to make believe?
Oh, yes, Tommy. Make-believe is a magic all its own. Why, I remember a time last spring. It was time to dig up the potatoes from our garden, but no one wanted to help me do the digging.
I wish I had time to dig up those potatoes for you, but I'm very busy milking the goat.
Oh, yes, yeah, me too. I mean, not the goat, I mean baking. That's it. I have got so much baking to do, I cannot think of digging potatoes until next week.
Right, next week would be perfect.
Right.
Digging up a potato field is difficult work. I knew there must be a way to get him to help. Then, thanks to a little doggy, I had an idea. Bambalona! Big Anthony, I want to play a game.
Oh, a game?
Say,
love games.
but of course, if you are too busy with the goat and the baking,
I'm never too busy for a game.
No, what's the game? How do we play?
Well, the game is called Buried Treasure. See? And we play it by making believe that there is a treasure buried here.
Oh, well, that sounds like fun. And then what do we do?
Well, first we dig up the potato.
Hey, I think this game is a way to make us bring in the potato crop.
Oh, no, wait. Yes, that is true, Bambalona. But if you try it, I think you'll find that playing pretend makes the work go faster.
I don't know about this.
If you don't have fun, you can stop right away.
Oh.
That seems fair enough. Let's play. I'll go get the shovels. How do we start?
Well, we pretend that the hills of Umbria are filled with pirates' gold.
Ooh, I heard about a man who found pirates' gold under a rock pile.
Bene.
I heard about a rich baron who hid diamonds, sapphires, and emeralds from the king.
Oh, bravo! Bambalona had never worked harder, and Big Anthony had never worked with fewer complaints. But after digging potatoes for hours and hours, even our game of make-believe was not enough to keep them going. You two rest. I will dig some more. Oh, look! Did I see something shiny down there?
Shiny?
Ah.
What is it?
Oh, yes, shiny. I know I saw something.
No, it's more make-believe. There's no real treasure.
There might be.
Well, if there is a treasure, I can't let you get it all.
Okay. And so, at last we finished.
The potatoes are all dug up.
And we never did find any shiny treasure. It was all just make-believe.
It was? Then what is this?
Look! It's a key to the treasure!
A treasure! We found a treasure!
And so we did. And while the treasure they found was not gold, diamonds, or rubies, Big Anthony and Bambalona didn't seem to mind in the least. Sometimes a make-believe story can come through in its own sweet way. Ciao!
Ciao, Stregonona. That was a great idea Stregonona had. Playing pretend to make a hard job seem easier. Have you ever tried that? If you're cutting the grass, you can imagine you're a member of the world champion lawn mowing team. Or when you go through the frozen food section at the supermarket, pretend you're crossing the frozen Arctic tundra. Playing pretend makes you a real storyteller. Now, let's see what this scene inspires. Every picture tells a story. What story do you see? You know, one of the great things about telling make-believe stories is that you can make anything happen.
That's the part I don't like.
You don't like it? Why, Gabe?
It's hard to make up totally made-up stuff. Where do you start? Where do you go? How do you make it all make sense?
I have just what you need. The 5 W's.
You mean I gotta take vitamins?
No, Gabe, they're not vitamins. The 5 W's stand for who, what, where, when, and why.
Here's the 1 H. How does that help me tell a make-believe story?
Well, if you answer those 5 questions, you'll have everything you need to get started on your story. Let's start with who. Who is the main character of your story going to be?
How about a flying whale?
Very good. Does he have a name?
I think I'll call him Spout.
Great. Now, let's ask why. Why does this flying whale have wings?
Maybe he grew wings when his ocean evaporated.
Good. And where does Spout live?
Now he lives on the island of Catalina.
Here's another important W, Gabe. What does he do on the island?
Ooh, he's kind of a super whale. He flies around, fighting for truth and justice and helping seals and otters, fish and squirrels.
And our last W, when does all this happen?
In the future, 100 years from next Tuesday.
Looks like you've got a story, Gabe.
Yeah, I think I do.
When you tell a make-believe story, you can do anything you want. You make the rules. But you have to stick to those rules so that people will believe your story could really happen. Answering the 5 W's helps you to make your make-believe story real.
Here it is. A flying super whale named Spout flying over your house.
I hope he has strong wings. And now, let's meet someone who makes the unbelievable believable. Today's guest storyteller, Doug Chiang.
There, that looks good. Hi, Tommy. My name is Doug Chiang. I work as a film designer for motion picture, and most recently I worked as design director for Star Wars Episodes 1 and 2. And basically that means I get to design all the cool spaceships and robots and characters that you see in films. I've been drawing ever since I was 4, and one of the wonderful aspects of drawing is you can do it all by yourselves with simple tools. But I also wanted to combine the drawing and make it into something more dramatic and tell a bigger story, and that's where I got into the filmmaking. And by combining filmmaking with drawing, it really created something pretty wonderful for me. Welcome to my studio. This is where I do all my drawing and painting. When I draw, the tools that I use are very simple. Basically, all I need is a pencil. Some of the other tools that I use are markers and pens. I get my ideas mainly from everyday common objects. In my studio, for example, I can look at a door hinge and I can get a really cool idea for a spaceship. Another source of great material are books. Sometimes I'll look at books and find references from animals. Let's say, for example, that the script calls for this robotic dinosaur. What I'll do is I'll take all that information, go home to my studio, and just sit down at my drawing table. I usually think best when I'm drawing. And so my first step is usually just picking up a pencil or a marker and start doodling. What I first start off with is just a marker and a white sheet of paper, and I start sketching out the general shapes. Sometimes I'll try to create a robot with some animal personalities. So you'll see a little bit of perhaps an elephant, a crab. And by combining those, you really give your designs and your storytelling aspects much more depth. These designs have to look like they really work and really function. And one way to do that is really do your homework and really figure out, what makes a machine walk and what is practical. Where do you put the fuel tank and how big is the engine? And these are all the things that you have to think about when you're drawing. When I get a mental block and I can't really think of any ideas, I'll try to force myself to sit down and just draw my way through it. That way works best for me. Another good trick that I do when I'm drawing is sometimes I'll turn the drawing upside down because it allows me to look at the drawing from a fresh perspective, and often I'll find things or see things in here that I can correct. When I'm drawing, I'm basically starting the process of storytelling for the film. And part of what I do is to help everybody else in the production see the story. And all of us are sort of part of a larger process where we are trying to tell a story in bits and pieces, being guided by the director. And there it is. Here is a robotic dinosaur. And that's the really fun part of my job, is I get to create all these really wonderful characters from all the research that I do, from reading books, from seeing movies, creating something from scratch, something that no one else has ever seen. And that's a lot of fun. All you really need is one of these, just a pencil and a piece of paper, and then sit down at your drawing table and draw. But the main thing is just have fun. The more fun you have, the better your drawing will be, and the more life your drawing will have. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Gabe. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Doug. Isn't it amazing that all his out-of-this-world creations begin with a blank sheet of paper?
What's going on, Tommy?
Now it's my turn to come up with a make-believe story. Oh. I tried the 5 W's, but I'm still stumped about where to start.
Hey, I've got an idea. There's a fun game I just learned in school. It's called What If?
What if I tell you I don't know the what if game?
Oh, it's easy. One person says, what if?
Okay.
And the other person fills in the rest of the sentence. You keep going back and forth like that until you come up with an idea you like. Ready, Tommy?
Uh-huh.
What if?
Ice cream grew on trees. Your turn. What if?
Fish could sing. Okay, now you. What if?
Lawns were made of cotton candy. Hey, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Gabe. I'll be right back.
Oh. Hey, Tommy, how did your make-believe story turn out?
I'm not done yet. I had to mow the lawn first. See?
I think he's making that up, but I better go check that front lawn just in case.
I think the elephant finished what was left.
You were right, Tommy. The elephant finished the cotton candy lawn. So, the invisible rhinoceros and I got some ice cream out of the trees.
That's a wild story, Gabe. And now, here are some more wild stories from you. Everyone has stories to tell, and their own way to tell them. It's about sharing what's in your heart and letting the world know, this is my story.
Grandma's memories. When she was young and she was a teenager, she went to the Fox Hills Mall. Then she went to Hawaii. And then Santa Cruz and rode on a roller coaster. Then she went to Yosemite. And this one she climbed a mountain. And then this one she's sitting in a rocking chair by a fire on her rug, saying now she's an old lady.
Weren't they amazing, Gabe? He's gone. Or maybe he's invisible like that rhinoceros. Gabe! Gabe!
Okay, now, let me get this straight. An invisible rhino, a cotton candy eating elephant, and an ice cream tree?
That is strange.
It's chillin'.
It's make-believe.
And all this pretend can turn into stories?
That's right.
I'm gonna pretend there's a joke here. Hey, it's my make-believe.
I'd say these imaginative implications deserve some choral consideration.
Yeah.
What'd he say? In other words, hit it! Keep on telling stories!
Hey, Lungs, are you ready?
I'm just making it up, Wade. Here it comes. Tell the tale of days gone by on the trail of a secret spy. You can sail into the sky, see forever with your mind's eye. Come together now. La 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 la.
La, 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 la.
I got more. Make believe. Shoot. You got a magic friend, unicorn. Shoot. Live around the bend to the moon. Shoot. And then back again. It can happen if you just pretend. La 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 la. Tell me a story. Paint a scene.
Put it on a screen.
Tell me a story. There's a joke or a poem in every home. You gotta keep on telling stories. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. I love making up make-believe stories.
And what's the wildest thing you ever made up?
Oh, you're not gonna believe it.
You'd be surprised. Let me hear it.
Okay, you see, I like to make believe that I play keyboard and sing songs with a bunch of other animals.
It's pretty out there, but I believe it.
And that's what's great about make-believe.
Even a keyboard playing raccoon.
It could happen. Tell me a story.
But a bunny playing drums.
Or a weasel who can strum.
Tell me a story. Every song you sing, gotta make it your thing. Gotta keep on telling stories. You know you won't be sorry if you keep on telling stories. Keep on!
Well, you know, Gabe, there are two kinds of make-believe stories.
Really?
Some can come completely from your imagination, but others can be inspired by something that really happened.
Gee, Tommy, what do you mean?
Well, Gabe, when I was growing up, one of my favorite make-believe stories was about ice diving.
What's ice diving?
At first, I didn't know either, but I found out when my dad showed us home movies back when we lived at 26 Fairmount Avenue. It was a Sunday night, and we were going to watch home movies. This was way before videos. Movies came on reels and were shown with a projector, just like at a movie theater. Even the screen was special. It was covered in glass beads that looked like pearls. We were never allowed to touch it. It was time for the main attraction, our home movies. This was one I hadn't seen before. There were people in heavy winter coats standing on a frozen lake. in the middle of the lake was a big tower. "What's this?" I asked my dad. "Oh," he said, "we took you to see this when you were very little. Too little to remember. It's called ice diving." These were very special divers who set up a tower, cut a hole in the ice, and then dove into the icy cold water. People would come from all over to watch them. It was exciting and scary. My dad always told us, "Don't you ever try anything like ice diving." When I went to bed that night, I made believe I was the most famous ice diver in the world. I would climb to the top of the big tower and dive to the smallest hole in the ice. It was a great game of pretend I used to play back when I lived at 26 Fairmount Avenue.
Did you ever really try ice diving?
No, Gabe, I think my father was right. It's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, but it sure is fun to pretend. I'm ice diving. Look out below. Woo!
You okay, Gabe? Remember, keep telling stories. What happened?
The invisible kangaroo caught me in her pouch.
Of course.
Hey, why don't you try it?
How big is that kangaroo?